New Zealand has a small population and a relatively weak economy. We cannot afford a large conventional military or a highly advanced conventional military. We need to be more cunning. Asymmetrical capacities are crucial. We need to invest in forms of warfare that allow us to do the highest amount of potential damage at the lowest cost in money and manpower. That is how you create a deterrent and the peace and security it provides. Drones are a great tool for asymmetrical warfare. They have allowed Ukraine to deal many devastating blows to the far larger Russian military. Surveillance drones, loitering munitions, large combat drones, simple suicide drones. Drones are cheap and can do massive damage. Investing in our drone technology would be a wise move. Cyber warfare is another form of modern warfare that has massive asymmetrical potential. A small group of people can do a huge amount of damage to the enemy. They can create chaos and disorder in sensitive regions, potentially at great economic cost. This should be another subject of analysis and investment. Anti-ship missiles. Anti-ship missiles are relatively cheap and can do a massive amount of damage. Ukraine does not have a proper navy, but Ukraine managed to sink one of Russia's largest and most heavily armed flagships with a shore-based anti-ship missile system. This is a proven weapon system. Even a system like the Harpoon would do a great deal to improve our security. We could launch it from land-based trucks, our P-8 Poseidon maritime patrol aircraft, and our Anzac-class frigates. This would significantly increase our capacity to defend our islands from major powers. For an island nation, anti-ship missiles are an exceptionally valuable investment. Submarines could even be worth looking into. Submarines make the potential costs of an attack very, very high, because submarines can do a lot of damage. A frigate is never going to sink an aircraft carrier. That just won't happen. It would be wiped off the map before it could even get close. But a lucky submarine might just succeed. Submarines have the potential to do massive damage. By their nature, they are very stealthy and difficult to detect, and they pack a heavy punch. The potential for massive losses is a good deterrent. Submarines are almost certainly too expensive, but they do represent the kind of asymmetrical weapon that we should be looking into. Anything that makes the enemy face massive potential losses is worth looking into. And perhaps small coastal unmanned attack submarines will soon become an option. With the rapid advancement of technology, who can say? Anything could be on the table. Developing a capacity for guerrilla warfare could also be worthwhile. This would be a very strong deterrent. An element of the army dedicated to insurgency. Massive stockpiles of small arms ready to be distributed among the population. Recent history makes fighting a prepared insurgency very unappealing. People know how this ends, and it does not end well for the occupier. And this is the most tried and true form of asymmetrical warfare. This large, forested and mountainous country is also perfect for guerrilla warfare. The fact of the matter is that New Zealand needs to seriously invest in our defence capacities. The world is becoming more unstable and more volatile. The rules-based order is collapsing in on itself. Our top allies are becoming less reliable. Some say nobody has a good reason to attack us, but no warmonger ever lets the lack of a good reason stop them. This is not the basis of a serious defence policy. We need to invest in our defence force to deter aggression. This will improve our national security, give us more leverage as an alliance partner, and strengthen our sovereignty by reducing our reliance on our allies.